hello, 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 all. As always, I'm either bringing you news updates, something inspirational, or someone inspirational. And I always tell you, I look for the best people to share with you. Well, today, my guest is extra special because we grew up in the same boondock tongue I talk about all the time. We were raised in Mabaruma. I just did a small video, short video, with an area view of Mabaruma and shared a little bit of my history with you. And tonight, my guest is called Milesa Arjoon Greene. And I did not go to school with her. I had already departed from the peaceful, serene Mabaruma. I think she was a baby when I left. And recently, she also showed up on my Facebook, and I noticed that she was doing some phenomenal things. And a lot of people where I grew up in Mabaruma have done amazing things, but no one ever hears about them. So I feel it is my right and I owe them an opportunity to come on my platform and share what they're doing to add value to the world, inspire, encourage, and help others. And so tonight I'm happy to welcome my homegirl, Milesa. Welcome.
Thank you, Jennylyn. Thank you so much. I'm so happy to be here to have
Oh,
this conversation with you.
and I feel honored to have you here because I know you're a busy woman. I see you traveling and, trying to encourage people with what you do. And we'll get to that in a minute. Um, where do you live now? I'd like my viewers to know where you're living now.
Okay, now I'm in French Guiana. I migrated, it's like about 31 years now since I'm in French Guiana.
Okay.
Yeah.
French Guiana. Is that Suriname?
No, French Guiana, it's between Suriname and Brazil. It's in South America. We're in the middle, in between the two. It's bordering Brazil and bordering Suriname. Brazil is huge because it's bordering Guyana too. So on the other side, it's bordering French Guiana too.
Are you kidding me? I always thought that whenever someone referred to French Guyana, because from what I remember growing up, there were three Guyanas. There's a
Yes.
British Guyana where we were born, well, yeah, where we were born and raised,
Mm-hmm.
in at least in my younger life. And then there is Dutch Guyana
Dutch,
and
which is
French
Suriname.
Guyana.
Mhm.
I
Yes.
didn't know there was another one. So there are four Guyanas?
No, it's English, Dutch, and French. So that's Guyana, my home country, our home country. Dutch Guyana, which is Suriname, and French Guyana, which is where I am here.
Oh, so is French Guyana a part of Suriname or no?
No, it's a different country. It's governed by France. It's one of the
Oh,
departments of France. So it's considered part of France, French Guyana. It's governed by France. Uh,
oh, that's awesome. Okay, so I
yes.
think you're probably the first person I'm communicating with who lives there. So I'm
Okay.
really thrilled to share you with my viewers. Now, I want to remind you, in case you haven't seen the short video I did on Mabaruma,
Oh, yes,
British,
I did. Mhm.
formerly British Guyana, now Republic of Guyana, is the
Yes.
only speaking country on the continent. So, do you guys speak French?
Yes, French here.
Okay, okay. So you speak French. I suspect you're fluent. Did you go to school there?
I actually, when I came here, I was already an adult, so I did classes, extra classes, and as I would say, one of my biggest struggles was speaking French. I did not go to school here, so that was one of my limiting beliefs that people would laugh at me, they would laugh at my accent and stuff like that. So, yes.
I
Mm,
can relate to that. I
mhm,
came to United States to San Francisco. I married someone from San Francisco and started my life in the United States in San Francisco.
mm.
And every time I heard my voice on a voicemail, I was cringing. I'm like, oh my God, I sung so gross because everyone else around me sounded different. But I would imagine it was even more difficult for you because we were all speaking English, but in your case,
Right.
it's a completely different language.
Yes,
So,
definitely.
well, I'm very proud of you. How many years has it been now?
31 years.
And you sound like you've mastered the language. So
Yeah.
we are going to move on to what I'd like you to tell my viewers what you do because that's how I found you. I was looking at something you had done, but
Yes.
since you're here, you tell them what you do and how you
Okay.
got started doing it.
Okay. Yes. So I'm a transformational life coach, where I help women, high achieving women, surely, who, often we see women that look successful. Everything seems so beautiful and, from the outside, but inside they feel hollow. And I know I was at that place at one time. So, they're struggling with self doubt. Maybe they may not be feeling enough, you know, just giving to everyone else except themselves. Those are the women that I help, you know, um, may not have confidence, lacking self doubt, the limiting beliefs. And those are things that came from way back. They can become maybe childhood, many things. So, yes, because why I work with those women, because I was there and I know exactly how it feels to want to do something, but the fear is there. That feeling. So it's my passion. When I speak to those women, I light up. my my whole being is, it's lit. So yeah, that's I can say that that's what I do. And I'm working on my keynote speaking. I love empowering women. I love encouraging women. I love to tell women, become the best version of yourself. You know, I
Well,
love
we
it.
share that passion because not just
Yes.
women, I just love
People,
promoting
yes,
people and
yes,
helping people to realize that within every human lies something wonderful. And I've watched very, very talented people sort of just sit on it because they were fearful and they thought, I don't have money or I don't have opportunity. How can I ever become anything? And I've done many things, including start a business of my own, this show. I've done it all on my own because once I feel the calling, I just get up and do it. And if you fail, well, you can't say you didn't try. And that's my attitude.
yes. That's a learning lesson.
Yes,
Yeah.
so I am very happy that you're one of the people wanting to empower other people. So where did you go to school to learn the skills because you are a professional coach, right?
Yes. So I got my certification with Claire Zamet in the United States. It was an online coach. I got
Okay.
certified in January 2025, December of 24, January 2025, I've gotten my certification there. But prior to that, I did many online events, such as Tony Robbins and many other events that I attended that where I went into personal development, because to become a coach, it's not that simple. You have to do the inner work. So I had to do a lot of work on myself before I can actually decide to coach women, or so yes.
Well, I'm very proud of what you're doing because when I grew up in Mabaruma, I don't think there was any such thing.
Oh,
And
I
I
never knew
think
about
some
that.
people would have been offended back then if you came to tell them how to become the best version of themselves.
Yes.
So it's amazing how time has changed. And clearly there's a need for it because I notice you're very busy.
Yes. Yes, I am.
So, how do you compare the people where you live now in French Guiana? And it's clicking now. How could I not remember? I know there's a French Guiana, but I just never referred to it as the name you called. That's what threw me off
Okay,
because
yeah.
I knew we had three Guianas. So,
Yes.
yeah, what you've lived, you grew up in Guyana, and now you are in French Guiana. How are the lifestyles different, if they are?
Yes, it is different. It's much more laid back here, I can say. And it's
More
more
than
of the
Guyana?
European. It's, yeah, it's much more laid back than Guyana. Much, much more. Um, it's has a lot of the lifestyle. It's the European lifestyle because there are lots of French people that actually came from France that lives here. So yes, it's different. It's different, but I still keep my Guyanese upbringing and my Guyanese food, and I speak English at home. I speak English with my daughter. I never stop speaking English with her. So yes,
You
that's
have one child,
one child. I have one daughter. Yeah.
and your husband is French.
No, he's Guyanese.
Oh, he's also Guyanese. I see.
Yes, he's Guyanese. He brought me from Guyana
I
here.
see. Okay.
Yes, that's how I reached.
So you went there as a young adult, so you'd already graduated from high school. Did you go to the high school in Mabaruma?
I started high school in Mabaruma, and my dad took us out, myself, my brother, and my sister, and we went to St. Joseph in Georgetown. So after I wrote my CXC, I was admitted to University of Guyana that same year, and that same year I came to French Guyana. So I did not go to university. I did not go.
Okay. It's so funny. I remember your father really very, very well.
Oh, really? Wow.
Because when I was
Hmm.
growing up, we had an organization of the government called the YSM. It
Yes.
was
Uh-huh.
called the Young Socialist Movement.
Okay.
And I
That name
remember
rings a
a
bell.
lot of us from high school were sent to like Matthews Ridge, and we had a uniform
Okay.
like soldiers, and we actually
Yes.
shot rifles.
Okay.
And one time we had a meeting somewhere, it was him and a lot of people, and I always had this fire in me for doing the right thing. I
Yes.
remember sitting around this big table, it was him and a lot of other politicians whose names I can't really remember. But the
Mm-hmm.
reason I remember him is he looked at me and told me that I had guts and that one day I would
Okay.
run the country.
Ah,
And I
yes.
never forgot that. He goes, one day
Mm.
you're going to run this country.
Uh,
I had said something at the time that I think would have been considered impertinent to say to a politician, and I didn't even
yes.
realize what I had told them, and that's when he said that to me. And so I left Mabruma back in 1980.
Okay.
So I just never really got to follow up much because at the time we didn't have internet access like we have now.
Now.
And to
Mm-hmm.
make a phone call, it cost you an arm and a leg.
Mm-hmm.
So now anybody can call anyone anywhere. There's Facebook, you have Facebook Messenger, you have WhatsApp. I mean,
Mm-hmm.
there's no way that you can't stay in touch with people if you want to. So it just felt after Facebook like my whole world opened back up to my childhood and all the people that I hadn't heard from in eons suddenly are now back in my life and posting about their lives every day.
Beautiful.
So I
Mm.
think that's one of the good things about Facebook. But I want
Yes.
you to tell me now that you live in another country and now you're empowering women, What do you foresee for the future? What would you like to see happen and you are planning to do
Mhm.
to reach especially some of the women in Mabaruma if you had the chance?
Especially, that's one of my dreams. That's one of my vision to
Yeah.
help the women back in my hometown. And I don't have all the answers as yet. Is it last year? Along with my two sisters, we did a conference at the church and we had a great turnout. So the work has already started. So I will continue. That's a promise that I made to myself. Um, I don't have, as I said, I don't have all the answers as yet, how I'm going to do it and what exactly. But I do reach out to women in Northwest by chat that we, that I share with, that we exchange on days. So I can say the work has started a little,
Well, I
not on a
really,
large scale, but individually.
well, I'm so happy that you're planning to do this because my memories of the women there, they didn't have many opportunities to do anything but have a lot of kids. And that's what
Yes.
they did. They had a lot of children. And it was always my dream to do something there.
Mhm.
But there's so many things that happen in your life. You have one plan, and sometime life has a different plan, and the dots
Definitely.
don't connect the way you foresee them. But I
Yes.
also believe once you have life, it is still possible. And I
Hope.
think if women like yourself and I, and all these other women that graduated from our high school who are doing phenomenal things can collaborate, we can make a difference. It's just
Great.
that everyone is so busy. Like,
Yes.
even to do this interview, right? We have a time
Yes.
difference,
We
number
take the
one.
time. Right.
And you have a busy schedule. I have a
Mm-hmm.
busy schedule.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really difficult, but I'm glad we were able to do this and to, put it out there. Maybe when we post this video, we may get people calling
Some
saying, hey, let's
collaboration.
do something.
Yes.
But Guyana has changed a lot since they signed the deal with Exxon. How often do you go back to Guyana?
I was there last year and I came back last week from I went for that's the first for this year. I went once last year and once for this year already. So yes, and when I was there, and I sometimes through Facebook because I do not read the newspapers anymore. So um, I I I noticed that there are lots of conferences. Guyana is doing many more events for women concerning personal developments, and I love that. I love that because women need that in Guyana. I grew up, I knew nothing about personal development. I wouldn't say it did not exist, but I wasn't in a society or I wasn't surrounded by individuals that taught me about personal development or and mindset shifts and all of those stuff. My dad, he was very positive and very encouraging, but my
He
dad,
was.
I think if he was here today, I might have been a different person. But I was 17 when he died. So I did not get to have that part of him. And that's one of the things that aches me so much sometimes because he had this big vision. He really had a vision. He was someone who sees things in you. He sees as he said to you, you have guts.
Yeah,
He
he said,
sees
you're going to run the country. No, I
people.
agree with you.
Yes, right. And he would push you. He would say, "You can do it. Go. Don't limit yourself." And I miss that about my dad. I
Yeah.
miss that in my adult life. Becoming a young woman, I hadn't that father figure around to say, you can do it. Um, so yes,
Well, I think you're doing great. I think that
yeah,
They say to walk 1,000 miles begins with one step, and you've
Yes.
started, right?
Yes. Yes.
Um,
Yes.
when you go to Guyana now, are you happy with the growth that you're seeing? What do you think? With since Guyana has signed a deal with Exxon, you hear mixed messages about what's happening there. People have different views. Those who are benefiting think it's great. Those who
Hmm.
are struggling think that only
It's not
some
great.
people are benefiting from what's happening. And when you go to Guyana, you can see some people living really big and some
Mhm.
people struggling. And I do a lot of shows about injustice and politics and power. I'm not fond of politicians. I'll be straight up. I
Mhm.
believe a lot of politicians get their positions because they have the characteristics for it. And a
Right.
lot of it does not include my favorite word, integrity.
Mhm. Mhm.
So, from your perspective, when you go to Guyana now, and I know that you were born in Mabaruma, but you said you went to school in Georgetown. So when you go to Mabaruma now, I mean to Guyana, you were in Georgetown.
Yes.
How is it different from when you were going to school before they signed the deal? Did you notice any differences?
Okay. Physically, I can see changes like, infrastructure and stuff like that. They're building hospitals and stuff like that. But when I hear from the people, the normal grassroots people, they said they're struggling. And I'm, I guess I don't know when last you went, but things are very expensive. I find sometimes when I compare the price, some of the prices, they're actually certain things. It's like the price in euros. So um, there are changes. There are changes. I wouldn't deny the fact that there are changes. But I don't even know what's the minimum wage. I don't know what's the minimum wage in Guyana. So um, I don't know much about the inside struggles. So I think I need to discuss more with people to, hear how they're doing day to day. How are they making ends meet day to day? What's it like for them? I did not went to that. I did not do that when I was there.
Mm.
I spoke mostly with a few friends and family, but I did not reach out to others about that.
Well, I'm someone who seems to always pick the impossible feats. Like
Mm-hmm,
I
mm-hmm,
want to change things. I want
mm-hmm.
things to be equal opportunity for everyone.
Everyone, yes.
And I know that it's not going to happen because I don't have the power to change it. And oftentimes, if people can't change something, they turn their backs on it
Mm-hmm.
because they just feel like, what's the point? But for me, I think although I can't change it on a large scale, if I help two or three people, then I
Still.
am happy. At least I changed three people's lives. And when I was in Guyana maybe 4 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
I had not gone there in 24 years.
Wow.
And then 4 years ago, I was going to interview the then Prime Minister, Granger.
Okay.
He had consented to the interview. I was in his office
Mm-hmm.
waiting, and something happened, some political thing happened. And we kept waiting and waiting, and I kept getting messages, I'll be here in an hour. I'll be here in an hour. Then I think someone bailed on them in their political party, sold them out that night. And
Okay.
so
So you
they
didn't.
asked me to reschedule the interview, but I was flying out on the Sunday. They wanted me to go on the Monday. So
Mm.
unfortunately, that interview did not happen. But that
Okay.
was the reason I went there, was to interview him because they had just signed a deal with Exxon.
Okay.
And
Mm.
and if I'm allowed to voice my opinion, I think it's a shitty deal. And I kept saying, who agreed to that?
Mm-hmm.
And so I wanted to ask them. I don't think that was a good deal for Guyanese people, but I don't know the details of the deal. So I was
Definitely. Mm-hmm.
curious, and I have a very
Yes.
curious mind. I wanted to know
Mm-hmm.
what
Mm-hmm.
kind of deal was that and what was the grounds for it. But the interview never happened,
Okay.
and I haven't gone back since. But I have a brother there still and a sister and
Okay.
sister-in-law and nieces
Mm-hmm.
and nephews. And so I hear from them. They post different news articles. Not to mention, the news is everywhere now.
Yes.
Everything
Mm-hmm.
that's happening there daily, I
Yes.
see it Facebook, TikTok,
Right.
wherever.
Exactly. Yes,
So
definitely.
if you don't know what's going on in the world,
You
it's
don't need to
because you
read the
don't
news.
want to, right?
Right.
Because you have
Yes.
news at your fingertips. Although you have to really be discerning, and mainstream media is the last place I would encourage anybody to get news because that's not news.
Mhm. Yes.
So I feel that Gaia and Mabaruma produced some wonderful people. I don't want to name them and talk about things that that we've done, but since I'm doing this show, you're probably my third Mabaruma guest. The other one is my sister. She's a doctor at the medical, or she just retired from the medical university in Grenada. She was a doctor there for many years, and now she's retired. And my sister-in-law, she was a headmistress at a school in Georgetown, and now you.
Awesome.
And so, in between my regular show schedule, I'd like to slip a few Guyanese people
Yes,
who
that's
are
beautiful.
successful in to highlight,
Beautiful.
how it doesn't matter where you grew up,
Mm-hmm.
it's all about your will, your choice, and your heart,
Exactly.
right?
Definitely. Yes. Totally agree with you. Mm.
And it does, they say a small axe can cut down a big tree. So
Yes. I
people
grew up
need
hearing that.
People need
Mm.
to get out of the mindset that, oh, I went to school here, or these are my parents, or this is my religion, or I don't
Exactly.
have money.
Yes.
These are all negative self thought. And if you could just abolish those, you can change the world.
So much. Yes.
And so before we wrap up, I
Mm-hmm.
always ask my guests, is there anything you want people watching this segment to know that I didn't ask you?
Okay. Maybe I can say to the what could I say to that you did not ask me? Um, Maybe I can say that, when I was doing the personal, doing the inner work on myself, people around me, they have noticed. And that's when I knew that it wasn't only for me. And that's when I realized that, you know, women were seeing it and they were like, Melissa, what are you doing? You've changed. And when I shared my story, it connected so much. And that sparked a light in me too, that helped me to make that decision, as well as that feeling that I was having of not being happy, feeling empty, feeling hollow. And that was the second reason where I said, I have to do this work.
Were you unhappy?
Yes. I was, it was like I would feel happy for a moment when okay, let me explain. It's like I would have a beautiful trip. I had a nice job. I love entertaining people. I did so many parties at home. I love that, decorating and all of that. And when the lights went off, I would feel sad, you know. And it went on for a few years, and then I decided that I have to see why is this happening? So I went on a journey where I said, okay, I'm going to come off of social media 1 month. I'm not going on social media. I want to see what's this. So that's what I did, and I connected to myself. My sister hooked me up with doing EFT tapping, that's emotional freedom technique tapping. And I started doing stuff like meditations, EFT tapping. I went through like a real crazy journey of personal development. And that's when I decided, that's where I started to find myself. And I started to feel that peace within me. And that's when the real happiness came. And it was not things. It wasn't social gatherings. It wasn't money. It wasn't anything of that sort. It was me doing something meaningful, my purpose. I know it's difficult to find. We all would love to find our purpose, but it's not that simple to find what's your purpose. But I think I found my purpose. And I know,
Well,
I won't say I think, I said I have found my purpose. Yes. So I'm
I
living
think
that.
this is a beautiful story. As a
Yeah.
matter of fact, I'm going to start this. I'm going to put this at the beginning of the video.
Oh,
I am so thrilled that you found what you needed to fill the void in your life, to fill
yes.
the reason that you felt empty. And this is the problem with the world. A lot
Hmm.
of people feel like this, but instead of doing what you did, they turn to drugs, they turn to alcohol, they fill the void. And I would imagine those things do fill voids, but temporarily. And you
Correct.
don't edify your soul doing that. So hats off to you that you found what
Yes.
you need to become the best version of yourself. And I
Yes.
applaud you that you're spreading it and
Yes.
encouraging others to do the same.
You.
And I'm
And I
so
left my job to do that
you left your
after
job.
40 years. Yeah. Since I came here, I started working
What
and
type of work did you do?
I worked with Mercedes-Benz. I was a clerk. So I left in February this year
And to
to go.
do this, right?
Yes, to do
And which
this.
one
Yes.
brings you more joy?
This. Yes.
You see? So you
This.
found your calling. I love it. It's a great
Yes.
story. And I'm
Yes.
hoping that when you share this video, that other people will be inspired. That's why I do these shows.
Yes.
Yeah?
I hope so too. Thank you.
Of
Thank
course.
you.
And thank you so much for taking the time out. You're 2 hours ahead of me in French Guiana, all right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So it's 7:41 here.
Yeah.
So thank
Well,
you for
Milesa,
inviting me.
thank you for taking the time. Maybe we'll do some more segments down the road when you have
No
some
problem.
new
It was really an
developments.
honor for me. Thank you so much for inviting me. I appreciate that and I appreciate
Anytime.
you.
I really like bringing my home girls to the forefront to share how they're overcoming some of the adversities or the accomplishments, but anything inspirational because women in those parts of the world don't often have platforms to share their accomplishments or their stories. So
Nice.
any one of you watching, if you have a story you would like to come on my show, you are welcome. Just reach out and let me know. And I hope
Awesome.
you've enjoyed Milesa as much as I have. And I will be back soon with a news update with Eric. And thank you for watching.